Singer for Star Playhouse presents Dick Powell, Charles Boyer, David Niven, Ida Lupino.
Mr. Barton.
Dr. Capaldi, this is Mark Hammond.
Chancellor?
How do you do? Nice of both of you to come so promptly.
Well, a statement by the chancellor is always an important thing, sir.
I'm afraid there will be no statement, Mr. Barton.
That's why we came, sir.
I know. But a slight deception was necessary. If you will sit down, I will explain. I understand you are planning to leave the country in a day or so.
Yes, tomorrow. Our paper's sending us to Paris to cover the crisis there.
Mr. Barton, I would like you to do something for me.
Just name it.
I may speak in confidence, may I not?
Of course.
Naturally.
Oh, you can trust Mr. Hammond just as you can me, sir.
I'm sure I can. To be brief, the situation is this. The conflict between the church and the state in this country, unfortunately, having been resolved, the conflict between the state and the university is now about to reach its climax.
Well, that's been brewing for quite a while.
Sometime today, I will be arrested. I will be charged with treason and with other crimes against the state.
You, Dr. Capaldi, I can't believe this.
My sources of information are quite reliable.
Well, may I make a suggestion? If you know this is going to happen, why don't you get away now?
There is no time and no way. Besides, if I tried to escape, it would immediately be construed as an admission of guilt.
Yes, I do see that.
The point is this. You and I are familiar with the methods used by the secret police to obtain confessions.
You don't think they'd try those methods on you?
I'm afraid they would. And I'm afraid that the flesh would not be able to withstand their persuasions. I am not a young man. Spirit alone cannot carry the burden. And I'm afraid that ultimately I would weaken and admit to being guilty of whatever charges they saw fit to bring against me.
Oh, I am sorry, sir. I wish I...
That is why I asked you to come here in this clandestine fashion. I know you plan to leave the country and already have your exit visas.
That is correct.
That means you have been cleared by the police and are not under suspicion. You could easily carry a message from me to the outside world, a message to be used in refutation to any confession I might be forced to make. I have prepared a letter. You need not accept this task if you think it too dangerous.
I should be proud and honored, sir, to try and get this letter out of the country for you.
Thank you.
I have an idea. I think Mark should take a picture of this. Then if anything should happen to the original, we'd have a photocopy, which would be just as good, and then there'd be two chances instead of one of getting it out.
That is an excellent suggestion.
Yeah, bring it over at the window, Frank.
All right.
Won't you need this?
No, not this time. This one will be much better. All right, now hold it in the light, Frank. That's good. Hold it. There. All right, now one more for safety. Little bit, tilt it a little. There, that's it. Fine.
Do you mind if Mark takes a picture of you, sir?
I understand. The before to be compared with the after.
Well, let's pray that none of this will be necessary.
Just change places, please, Doctor. Stand right there. Now hold it still, please. That's good. I'll develop this as soon as I get back to the hotel. Piece of negative, 1/2 inch by 1.5 inches should be a cinch to hide.
Will there be anything else, sir?
Nothing except my deepest thanks. And God bless you.
And may he protect you, sir.
It was Dick Bannister on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Carpoli was right. They came and got him just like you said they would.
Poor old man. When did it happen?
Less than an hour after we left. Boy, if they knew we had this, it'd be down on us like a blanket.
Yeah. That film and that letter, just dynamite. It's pretty terrifying.
Oh, well, I'd be glad to get on that plane for Paris.
Me too. I'm taking that.
Oh, wait a minute. You got the letter. You don't want this, too?
Look, carrying this thing around is like having a bottle of nitroglycerin in the pocket. There's no point in both of us taking the risk. Hold the end of it.
But that's why you wanted me to take the picture, so we'd have 2 chances of getting the message out instead of 1.
Use your head. We're either going to get out of the country, all right? Or we're going to be searched. And if we're searched, one of us is going to be clean.
Now, look, Frank, I'm not
Mark, you're still taking orders from me. You go down to the airport and pick up our tickets. I'm going back to my hotel to do my packing. I'll meet you here in the morning at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Yes?
You have 2 reservations on tomorrow's 7:30 plane in the name of Frank Barton. Plane for Paris.
Frank Barton?
No, I'm sorry, but there is no reservation for Mr. Barton. Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. I was with Mr. Barton when he phoned for him.
There must be some mistake. There's no reservation.
Well, any mistake is yours. Those reservations were confirmed.
I'm sorry, sir. There's no record of any booking in Mr. Barton's name.
All right, so you got no reservation. How about a couple of seats? You got any vacancies?
Without priority, it's impossible.
Well, when can we get 2 for Paris?
Just a second. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not before next Thursday.
There must be something sooner than that.
I'm sorry, sir, but in case we have cancellations, we'll let you know.
You'll let me... All right. Call Mr. Barton at the Metropole, huh?
Mr. Barton, Metropole, yes, sir.
Hello, Hotel Metropole. Let me talk to Frank Barton and make it snappy, please.
Hello.
Oh, Frank?
Oh, hello, Mark.
Listen, we're in trouble. Haven't got any reservations. That's right, there's something funny going on, huh?
Hey, what is this? Just routine questioning. I must ask you to come with me.
Yeah.
Hello. Who is it?
Krista.
Are you alone?
Yes.
I thought we said goodbye last night.
Darling, I think you're in great trouble.
Trouble? Why?
There's a rumor that the chancellor of the university gave you a letter just before he was arrested today.
Dr. Carpoli arrested? I didn't know that. But then I've been packing all day. I haven't been out.
The police will be here any minute looking for it.
Well, why should they come here? I have no letter from Dr. Carpoli.
No? Then Mark has it.
Where do you get such fantastic ideas?
If you have it, do give it to me. Carpoli has confessed to everything. The police will kill you to get that letter.
I don't understand this. Why should I hand it to you, even if I had such a letter?
I want to help you. You know that. I love you, Frank.
Krista, I've been wondering, why are you suddenly so well informed? It couldn't be that you do odd jobs for the secret police, could it?
Frank, you have known this for a long time, haven't you?
I've been reasonably sure, yes.
But you still kept on seeing me? Why?
Because I happen to be very fond of you. You know that.
Then can't you believe that I'm fond enough of you to want to help you?
To want to help me and to help yourself to the letter, isn't that right?
Well, since you're being frank about things, yes. Give it to me, and I'll bring it to you over the border later. That way you can leave the country safely.
You're lying, you know. If there was such a letter and I gave it to you, it would be in the hands of the chief of police in 5 minutes, wouldn't it?
All right. I do love my country. But I also happen to be in love with you. Oh, you idiot. Can't you see I'm trying to save your life? Darling, please give me the letter.
There is no letter. Now, look, don't go on about this. It isn't getting us anywhere. We said goodbye last night. We talked everything out. This is goodbye. Oh, please don't cry.
Oh, why does it have to be like this?
Don't spoil everything. We've had such fun together. I think you better go.
I suppose so. Goodbye, darling. I keep this as a souvenir, darling.
Krista, wait! Who is it?
Telegram.
Wait a minute.
Search the suitcase. Code 703. Hello, this is Miklas. Barton got away, down the fire escape. All right, we'll search the room.
Taxi? Yeah, American consulate. This isn't the way to the American consulate. Escape. Turn on the light.
Do you realize that the whole town is turned upside down looking for you?
Beginning to dawn on me, yes.
What'd you do, take a pot shot at the people's choice?
I might just as well have done. Now, Dick, I saw Dr. Capaldi just before he was arrested, and he gave me a letter in which he denied anything that he might confess to, and said if there was any admission of treason, it must have been got out of him by torture.
And you kept the letter?
Of course, wouldn't you?
No, not I. I want to keep on living.
Dick, I need your help. If you could keep the letter here just for a few days while things settle down.
I wouldn't touch it with a pair of asbestos gloves. Do you realize that they have been here twice already looking for you? Every foreign correspondent in this city has been searched and questioned. And as far as you're concerned, they have a private welcoming committee right outside this place.
I know, I saw him. That's why I came up the fire escape. I've got to get this letter into safe hands.
What about the consul? Maybe he can get it out in his diplomatic pouch.
Oh, I've called him already, but he knows the phone there's tapped. So all he could possibly say was that he can't violate the diplomatic mails. Well, I've got to get it out somehow to give him my promise.
What about Mark? He was going to leave with you, wasn't he?
Yes. Well, he was with me when I saw Carpoli. They picked him up already, I think.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I hope he's all right. He's clean, anyway.
Frank, make a deal with him. Tell him you'll give him the letter if they'll let you go. It's your only chance.
No, I can't do that.
Frank, I know it's a lousy thing to say, but bear this in mind. I got a wife and 3 very hungry kids back home, and Frank, how about
my getting out of here? No, don't worry. I'm just leaving.
I don't mean it.
Understand?
Well, what about money?
Thanks just the same. So long.
It's me, Frank.
Krista.
I hoped you'd come back.
I got tired of all the nightlife. What are you doing here?
They couldn't find the letter, so I thought I'd try.
You're wasting your time. Don't start any of that crying business again.
I won't. Please, darling. This is your last chance. You couldn't have got in there without them seeing you. They will be here any minute. No, that way is guarded.
All right. Bring them in. I'm too tired to run anymore.
You're a fool, Frank.
I suppose you're right. We're all fools where I come from. It isn't altogether our fault, though. You see, we're handicapped. We lug around a belief in the rights of the individual and a strange concept of justice. You're right, we're fools. You people are the smart ones. Smart and strong and ruthless with no honor and no ideals.
That is not true. We do have ideals.
Well, let's say they're not very idealistic ones.
They only happen to be different from yours.
They only happen to... I'm sorry, darling. Here we go again. And I started it this time. We never will convince each other, will we? What are you going to do now? Stick around and get the credit for turning me in?
I hate you. I hate you.
The letter, Mr. Barton.
I don't have any letter. If you don't believe me, search me.
We shall. But I hardly think you'd be stupid enough to be carrying it. You were here when it came?
Yes.
And you have searched the room?
Yes.
Sit down, Mr. Barton. Where is it?
There is no letter.
I know there is. Dr. Capaldi himself told me of it.
The doctor must be mistaken.
No, it is you who are mistaken.
Volpe, it's no use. You're not going to get any letter out of me.
Oh, yes, I am.
But if you think that by beating me up, you're going to make me produce something that doesn't exist, you're wrong.
There are two errors in what you say, Mr. Barton. We do not use such methods. And the letter does exist. Get him.
Chancellor.
Mr. Barton, I owe you an apology. I should not have placed you in this unfortunate situation.
I don't understand.
Yesterday I gave you a letter. Please return it to me.
I have no letter of yours, Doctor.
Please, I must ask for its return. My giving it to you was a mistake.
Then you're not being charged with treason?
That does not matter now.
It matters to me, sir.
Very well, then. You forced me into a shameful admission. I have been guilty of crimes against the state. I have made a full confession. I was under no duress, Mr. Barton. I made my confession quite willingly. I came to realize the dreadful error of my ways. I made a full confession of my guilt.
Oh, they must have forced it out of you in some way.
Please, please don't make it any more difficult for me. I fooled you just as I tried to fool the outside world. It was the wrong thing to do. I cannot allow a letter which I wrote in a misguided effort to undermine my government to reach the outside world. There are too many who are willing to believe any lie if it comes from my pen. Please tell me where the letter is.
Are you doing this for me, sir?
I'm concerned for you, yes, but only that you should not suffer because of my wrong.
I can't believe it. I can't believe you.
You still think I am acting under duress now. Do you have so little regard for me So little respect that you should believe that in less than 24 hours I should be tortured into a false confession? No, Mr. Barton. My guilt is obvious. There was no point in denying it. And the letter, if it should be published, it would only shame me more. Please give it to me. As soon as you give up the letter, you will be permitted to leave the country.
I don't even know whether to believe that now.
You have to believe it. Listen to Dr. Capaldi.
How can I be sure?
You have my word, too.
I'd like something a little more tangible.
Once we have the letter, Mr. Barton, you are of no interest to us.
How about calling the airport and getting me a reservation?
All right. Code 703, airport.
And what have you done with Mark Hammond?
He was searched thoroughly and put on a plane for Paris. He is unharmed. Airport, this is Voltaire. I want a seat on a 7:30 plane for Paris, for Mr. Barton. He will come to the airport with Miss Brisac. Yes, she'll watch for him. Miss Brisac will take you to the airport to confirm my call. Incidentally, she will see that you speak to no one on the way.
All right. You can have the letter.
Where is it?
In the typewriter.
Very clever, Mr. Barton. Very clever indeed.
Mr. Barton, I have one last request to
No
make.
further talk is necessary, Doctor.
I'm sure you will approve, sir, since this, too, is part of my duty. Mr. Barton, undoubtedly you will write a story about me. When you write of me in your papers, tell the entire truth. Picture me as a traitor to my country, as a man who would have committed any crime against it. But picture me as one who has seen the truth and who has willingly, most willingly, recanted of his political heresy. If you write that, then the whole world will get the true picture of me.
I shall try to carry out your wishes to the letter.
Goodbye, Mr. Barton.
Goodbye, sir. This is becoming the most repetitious farewell in history. Goodbye again.
Goodbye, Frank. I'm miserable that you're going, but I'm happy too.
I know how you feel. When I look at you, I feel just the same.
Excuse me, but if you want to get on that plane, you better go now.
Well, you won't be needing this anymore.
But I do, Frank, I do. I really want it. Please, I'm serious.
Very well.
You won't find it there. Here it is. Keep it in a safe place.
Well, I'll be...
Maybe it's not goodbye after all.
Take care of yourself.
I will, darling.